We're here with Ryan Perez today from Southern Highlands Equine Centre, and he is Mr. P's vet. So do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Ramon. I work at Southern Highlands Equine and Roundup Equine. Been around this horse specifically for probably 5 years, just at the racing stable. So luckily I have a bit of history with him. So know him fairly well.
And can you tell us a little bit about his injury, what we found today, and management plan going forward?
So unfortunately, he had a bowed tendon on the right fore, as his superficial digital tendon, which is one of the flexor tendons, and it's a common injury, unfortunately, in horses in general. And so he's done that about 60 days ago. And he's had a rehab of stabling, bandaging, icing, butane as normal. We've ultrasounded him today just to give some update. He had a fairly significant injury. Sounds like the original scan showed that he came very close to sort of complete rupture of his tendon. But today he's filled in. There's only a few areas of fiber disruption that's remaining, and most of the inflammation is gone. He's quite pain-free at the moment. Looks good. Seems to be a fairly straightforward tendon injury compared to where he was 60 days ago.
Awesome. And going forward, sort of what do you think prognosis would be, or how should we be managing it?
Obviously, prognosis is well, for racing, obviously not.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be a long recovery, and the rehab should be fairly intense. Mm-hmm. But the more rehab that we put into him, the more time we put into him, the stronger the tendon will be, the less likely he redoes it or has a more issue going forward. So I think the prognosis for him, although he started out in a bad situation, mm-hmm. Is actually quite good. So I'm quite helpful. At the 60-day mark, I'm actually really surprised how well it looks today. Mm-hmm. So I look forward to sort of seeing what he does in the next sort of 10 months.
Awesome.
Let's see where it's ruptured portions of it, because the fiber pattern, it's the deep digital here.
Yeah.
It should obviously look very similar to that.
Yeah.
You've got some fiber pattern, but then you've got a large section of it that just looks just where he's actually torn it completely.
Yeah.
He's interspaced a few fibers still here and there, but he probably somewhere in there is probably done a fairly good job of pulling. And he's got a little bit still remaining. This is the section that you can still see on the transverse. You can still see those areas as black areas. You can definitely see the difference in size starting, and that's just at like 5 centimeters. You can obviously start to see where it was probably starting to rupture just below it.
What level is that?
That would be about 15 centimeters, which would be about level, would be about beginning of L2.
Yes.
2A, roughly. So deep digital, they look the same. Origin, body, this is the body of the suspensory. Mm-hmm. Then you've got your check ligament sort of coming in. Mm-hmm. But this obviously is, yeah. I'll be able to take these back and measure them and see the difference. But he's still filling in a few spots. Slash, there's some still edema or hematoma. It appears to be good. Is that the deep stays pretty normal? That's the sheath of fusion there. You can see just a fraction of it right there. He's caught surprisingly well. So I'd be pretty happy with the overall. Where he's resentful to palpation is where you can see it on scan, where he still has a little bit of fiber disruption slash edema, inflammation. He doesn't seem to care too much about up here as you get down, which is sort of goes with where he's at there. And then he's obviously got some a component of the sheath involvement. Doesn't appear or doesn't feel like he's done anything in the pastern region, but certainly I would suspect, even though the deep digital feels fine and looks fairly well there, I suspect he's also done a little bit of the sheath. Other than that, I think it is good.